let's talk about Ant-Man and Marvel. And yeah, I know. Let's cry about this.
The MCU Phase 5 dive.
Yeah, you did an article on this. You and I both last week saw this coming. The opening weekend was soft. This is only going to get worse.
Yeah, at the same time that the Access and Legacy Media, they were not going to touch this. Completely different narrative. They were building this up. If you'll recall, last weekend, the whole storyline was, oh, the cinema score doesn't matter. Oh, the scores don't matter. Oh, the audience reception doesn't matter. It's an MCU film. And the headlines were like, Kang conquers the box office. And everything was, Jeremy Majors is the greatest actor of our time. He is changing the entire air around him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? All it took was me and you doing simple math and looking at this and going, wait a minute. Nothing leading up to this next weekend looks good at all.
So, all right, Melonie, did you get to see Ant-Man?
I did not. I here's the thing is I like the first Ant-Man movie. I thought it was pretty good. And then the second one I just didn't even, for some reason I didn't get around to watching it, even though a lot of people told me it was good. And so for this one I
you didn't miss
just
anything.
have not had any interest in this third one at all. Which is a shame because I like Paul Rudd, I like Evangeline Lilly. I think they're great, but it just watching the trailers and all that, it just does not look interesting.
Well, this is not their movie, Melonie. They're not in this movie very much. So don't worry about
really? That's what Marvel keeps doing. The old bait and switch is that they'll title these where you think you're gonna see more of who you like the Doctor Strange sequel, and Doctor Strange is like my favorite of the MCU. And so I was like, okay, Multiverse of Madness. I really want to see Doctor Strange again, in his own solo movie. And then I feel like he just got outshined in that, and it wasn't even that much about him. And I'm getting real tired of this crap that Marvel's doing. I'm sick of it.
Seems like audiences agree with you. I think people have caught on to this game now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's just like they want all the virtue points of like, oh, okay, let's make a story about this character, that character who fits this marginalized group or that one, and then but they won't actually write them good standalone stories. Instead, it's like, oh, let's make the audience think that they're going to watch this established character that they love so much, and then we're just going to have them sidelined in their own movie. And it's just not been a good strategy for them. People have lost a lot of trust in Marvel with all the crap that they've been putting out lately, and they're really going to have to start focusing on more giving the fans what they want if they have any hope of recovering from all this crap.
Thor is a classic example of that, especially with Love and Blunder. Like we've seen Thor is like the god of thunder, and then he's turned into, we're not on Twitch right now, right? So I can say Simp of Thunder, because that's really what he turned into. Like it's bad. And then the Marvel has this horrible tendency to reuse jokes over and over again, to the point where not only do you kill the meme, you still don't understand the meme you're using.
Yeah, and I think I made a video recently about this topic, and I said, like, make Marvel manly again, type thing. Because when you think about superheroes and all that kind of stuff, for the most part, it's like it's like this male fantasy of being a hero. That's more of a male fantasy than a female one, and so that's why focusing on masculinity and that sort of thing is what having these like masculine heroes is what made the MCU successful in the past. When you were like really look at, I mean, you have Captain America pulling a freaking helicopter, like holding on to a helicopter, stuff like that. That's what we want to say. See, and even women who enjoy these things like myself, I think where they've lost the plot in a lot of ways is that they want to try to appeal to us women more, but they're doing it the wrong way, because those of us who do enjoy these, we like to observe. We like to observe like the men being manly and kicking butt and stuff like that. We don't have to feel like, oh, I need to see myself in this type thing.
But Melonie, they showed Thor's butt. That was supposed to bring everybody back. They were all excited. It was in every one of the trailers.
We must avert the male gaze unless you're looking at another dude's ass.
Right. It's just, I think they have it just so like kind of backwards. Is like, that's not going to, especially the way that, and I didn't even watch Love and Thunder because I just thought it looked awful. But I feel like just from what I've seen in the trailers and stuff, in a way, it almost was emasculating how they did that to him. Again, I haven't watched it, so I don't know how it's set up, but it was, it just didn't seem like an empowering moment for him in that.
Well, I was offended by the action figures where they turned the little naked Thor around backwards. So when you walk down the aisle, you were like, oh, that scene again.
I did have
scene again.
I did have a question for Melonie. What is your thoughts on the whole defeminization of the females in MCU as well? Like they're covering up with these weird suits, making them look all flat chested and board like, and they're taking away the female figure in general.
Or just straight up digitally altering, like,
photoshopping
their heads on a man's body.
Yes,
twice
like
now.
Nebula. With
that's the second time.
Guardians, with Nebula there. See, I hate this because here's the thing: is like, women who are into this whole action genre, all that kind of stuff, and when we see the female lead characters or even side characters, or just think of someone like Lara Croft, for example. She gained so much popularity and fame because she was like this hyper feminine, just next level, right? And so women actually really loved classic Lara Croft. She had a big female fan base, and men loved her. She's hot, but they think that that's going to push women away to see another hot woman, but it's kind of the opposite, because when, like I said earlier, the whole hero thing seems to be more of a male fantasy than a female one, than to, I want to save the day, I want to help people and save people. That's more of a male fantasy than a female one. But this hyper exaggerated beauty from a female character, that is a female fantasy. We want to be like that. And so it's like, even if it's this untouchable, unattainable thing, it's still like a power fantasy in a way. Like, to just vicariously live through that in a video game, for example, with Lara Croft. There you go.
How popular was that character, that costume in Halloween for little girls back in the day?
And still, even now, like when during Halloween, you will see more girls dressing up like classic Lara Croft than the current Lara Croft. It's just like, she still holds so much power, and for some reason they just refuse to bring her back. They don't want to do that. They just wanted to give us this more relatable Lara Croft, when I bet if you actually compare the demographics, Lara probably had a way bigger female fan base back then than she does now. And so it's incredibly counterintuitive. I mean, Tomb Raider 1 had like an astonishing like 40% female player base, according to Core Design at the time, who was at the time making the games. And so it's just, there's no way it's even close to that now. And so by them saying that they're doing this for women, or they want to act like they're doing this for women, they're not, because women love to admire beauty, and women love to vicariously live through these hyper beautiful characters.
But Mel, you just explained everything that these guys are missing. You just explained how everyone is relatable to figures in media, and they don't seem to get that, but they're pushing this other type of format that they think we can relate to. You just nailed it, and they just...
None of what you guys are saying is helping me take down the patriarchy, okay?
That when I think of like a video game or watching an action hero woman, I don't want to watch someone who is just like me and who's gonna be weaker and who's gonna be more like regular girl. I don't want to see that. I want to see this just like amazing, astonishing, like incredible, next level, unattainable type character. That's what I want to see.
You're not getting that, Melonie. We're putting Velma in the next Lara Croft game. That's what's going to happen.
Oh God,
it's going to be a great hit. Everybody wants to be Velma now.
Produced by Mindy Kaling. No, look, Melonie, you're totally right.
The worst game in the world. She can't jump on any extra ledges. She can't climb anything. You're stuck at the beginning of the game forever.
She just complains the tree's too high and I can't throw the rope right. And
the whole tutorial at the beginning, you press buttons to complain.
There's too much wood in my bow and arrow. It's too misogynistic.
Oh God. That's the issue, Melonie. You've said it. And we've talked about this here before. The problem with modern Hollywood, by and large, the reason why all these things fail, especially in the fantasy genre, right, or the superhero genre, like you said, This is supposed to be something that's aspirational.
Yes.
Not to necessarily be attainable, but aspirational. Aspirational to have the kind of morals like superheroes used to have. But more than anything else, it's meant to be escapism.
Yep.
I don't want to see Twitter and TikTok in my Marvel movies. I don't want to see it in my Lord of the Rings. I don't need to see people having virtue signal struggles and having safe spaces and snowflaking in Rings of Power.
Wait a minute. VR, are you saying that you don't want a colony of hyper technological ants to be declared socialists in a Marvel movie? Are you saying you don't want Ant-Man's daughter to proudly come out as an activist in a Marvel movie? You're blowing my mind right now. This is what
you trying to piss me off today, huh? You trying to piss me now?
Turn them into bitch pudding. Careful.
Oh yeah. I'll get the bitch
I
pudding
feel
now.
like everybody's losing lately with how they're portraying characters in general, because especially when you're looking at the action genre and stuff like that, dudes aren't going to want to watch a bunch of twinks and soy boys on there. And likewise, women, I don't want to see no twinky soy boys on there either. Like, if I'm going to watch dudes, I want to see them kick butt. And we also
I knew Steven would have that somewhere. Actual characters, actual Marvel characters.
Oh,
Kibble
that was
Smith.
just embarrassing.